Leave the bread on a cooling rack after the oven for an hour before cutting into it.
I don't think you've done that
done
yet.
that once. Not once. Smell that? Oh, that's so good. Wish you guys could smell this. I really do. Hey, hi everybody. It's the Papa from the Papa's Kitchen, along with the Nana. And that sounds weird, doesn't it?
AKA Susan.
AKA Susan, yeah. And today, we're with this video, we're wanting to cook for you something that is really one of my favorite things.
I found this recipe.
You did find this recipe,
yes.
And I heard it. You read it to me, and I go, oh, I got to do that one. But it's similar to what I've done before,
yes.
But this is a twist on it. And I'll get into that in a second. But
so there is a twist.
Well, a little bit of a twist because, yeah, little, but I don't know. But anyhow, I'm feeling very southern today. I've got my iced tea, sweet iced tea. I've got, it's sort of weird out though today. The sun was out a little bit earlier, but this morning we had tornado watch.
Yeah, tornado.
I mean, just like weird.
Yeah.
And so we were at church and everybody said, oh, it's a tornado watch, tornado watch. And I told one of my friends there, I said, look at, I said, I've lived in Nebraska for 25 years. Mm-hmm. We get tornado watches every other day, you know, kind of
yes.
thing. It doesn't faze us. When it's a warning, and then when the sirens go off, that's when you need
yes.
to think about it.
Warning, you think a little bit.
A little bit.
Yes.
Sirens, maybe we need to make a move. So anyhow, but that's what I'm doing. So it's Sunday afternoon, and my sister-in-law, Renee's over. Her husband left her again for work, and so we end up taking care of her and feeding her. And yes, we bring in the strays.
But it gives you a reason to cook.
It does.
Somebody's coming to dinner.
So this is a smoky collard and shrimp grits, cheesy grits.
Cheesy grits.
Yes. And so I don't know if all of you know it. But some of our best friends in New Orleans, this is a big time of year because they're getting ready for Mardi Gras. And that starts this year on February 21st, I think it is. And I just like New Orleans food anyhow.
Yeah.
And people say, well, what's good? What kind of good stuff happens at Mardi Gras? There's actually a lot of good stuff. The food is fantastic, off the charts, fantastic. Your taste buds will just explode.
Yeah.
And then the music and the people. It is fun. Do they have problems? Yeah, but in certain sections, and you just stay away from that. But honestly, it is a fun celebration. And of course, there's religious connotation to it that we don't get into in the sense, you know, it's nothing that we do. But
it's all over the city, which I didn't realize
not only
until
the
I
city,
went down
it's
there.
the whole region. Every
they block
town
off roads.
has their parades and everything.
Everywhere.
It's nuts. All the way even into Mississippi. And So anyhow,
it takes over.
It takes over.
Totally.
It takes over your life.
Yes.
And you eat yourself silly.
Yes.
You really do. And I love grits. I love grits. Make it a lot. And I like grits all sorts of ways. But even when our friend's son got married, they had a grits bar.
Yes,
and
I remember that.
You do different things in the grits. It was so
cool.
fun. And shrimp and grits is a common thing.
Yes.
And we're adding that collards, which you can add just about anything to grits. And we're doing a thing with smoky. It's got a smoky flavor. And what the recipe calls for is these diced fire roasted tomatoes with a little bit of green chili in them. So just one can of that, and that'll give it a little bit of a depth of flavor. And so I think it's going to be good. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get started, and then I'll come back and we'll do the rest, and it moves pretty quick. I've got my collards all ready right there. I've got my shrimp all ready to go. It's right there.
You're ready.
I'm ready. I'm ready. And oh, you know what else? This has unique flavor. It uses, and I've got a nice chunk of Parmesan cheese. It smells delicious. And that has that salty flavor to it. And we're going to put about, because it's cheesy grits.
Yeah, I've only had yellow cheesy grits.
That's
not
different.
white.
This is going to be really, really good. So with all of this combined, it should come off pretty good. And this is our dinner tonight. Renee doesn't know, but I do have some ice cream in my freezer, which I never have, but friends of ours brought it over the other day. So there's still left over, so we can have ice cream.
Okay.
And I've got some homemade.
What?
Caramel sauce.
Caramel.
Yeah, caramel.
Caramel.
Okay.
Are you a caramel or a caramel person?
Yeah. Caramel.
Caramel.
You're from the north.
Listen, everyone from the video we did about your birthday and all that, we asked people to send in suggestions.
Yeah.
So does this fit into the easy criteria?
This is easy, totally easy. It's a little longer than what you want, maybe
Only
because the grits take time. But you just put them on and stir them.
Like
it's
doing
nothing.
rice
Yeah,
or something.
that's all that is. And this is a very easy one.
Hits the flavor criteria.
Off the charts.
Yeah,
Off the charts.
so-
Yep.
Yeah.
So here we go. I'm going to show you what we're going to do. I've got in the pan right here. You want to get on the camera?
Yes.
And film me, film this, and move that back because I'm
you're what?
my head is chopped off.
We
There
always
go.
chop your head off.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, now you can't chew ice while you cook. That is not allowed.
Why do you take the simple
Right
pleasure
there. Right there.
of life away from me?
It'll make you choke.
No, my teeth are already wrecked.
No, they are.
All right, I've got in here 3 cups of water, and I'm going to turn my fire on here. We're going to bring this up to a boil.
See, don't
Excuse me.
chew ice
Oh,
and
my
talk.
goodness. I shouldn't have done that, should I?
No.
And I'm also going to add to it 3/4 cup of whole milk. And like I say, we're going to bring all of this up to a boil. There it is. And once that boils, I'm going to slowly stir in my corn grits. You get them all mixed in there and make sure they're really well covered and they're stirred in and incorporated well. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to cover it just like you do rice, actually, when I think about it, so you're right with that. I'm going to cover it for about 25 minutes on low heat. And every once in a while, I'll come back and stir it, make sure and all that. But that's really how you do the grits. And once the grits are done, we're going to cover them, put them to the side, and then I'll make the rest. So here it is. I'm going to let this boil up, and I'll come back and just show you when it's boiling. Now I'm going to add, it's boiling, so I'm going to add my grits. Get that all stirred in there real nice.
The milk that makes it do that.
It does, yeah. And I'll tell you what, why I like this induction plate is because you can now, because when I have to go to low here in just a second on the heat, you can set it real low, and I mean, it'll stay there, and it brings the pot down. It goes immediately, and even my electric stove doesn't do that. Gas does even better than my electric stove, but this does, in my opinion, the better of the 3. And so that's what I'm doing, making sure that's all stirred in there really good and
no lumps.
No lumps, exactly. Just bring that up a little bit. I want that to boil just a little bit with that.
What do you have sitting in front of you there?
Okay, guess what? I pulled this out to show you. I've been working, as you know, on my sourdough. Sourdough. Couldn't think of it. Sourdough stuff, and it's been a couple 3 months that I've been working it, and I think I finally got the system down pretty right as far as with my starter and the rising and everything. But I had to show you this too. I'm just like blown away, not by anything I've necessarily done. There, I'm taking it to low, and I'm going to cover it, and I'm going to. Every once in a while, occasionally come back and stir it so that it just stays creamy. I wanted to show you, I put, it's right now, it's, Alexa, set a timer for 25 minutes. It's now 4:40 in the afternoon. I put and fed the starter up to that yellow line at at 11:30 this morning, and look, it has doubled. And so later tonight, I'm going to make a couple of loaves of sourdough. One of them I did the other day. We loved it. I'll show it to you. Look, I made a cinnamon raisin. Renee, I'm going to send some home with you. This on toast. So I'm going to make another one of those for my folks, and I'm going to make another artisan loaf too, just a plain. But I'm having a blast doing it. So look at, I'm so, I mean, just, oh my God.
Sourdough people will understand, why you're so
it's
excited.
Like, oh my goodness sakes, I'm doing it, I'm doing it. So I'm not ready to show you anything necessarily about that and how I do my, there are so many people on YouTube and other places that do it and do such a good job. I've been following them, and so you find your own help there, but I enjoy sourdough. And by the way, tell me again, it doesn't have this, it has better...
glycemic index.
Oh, there
it
you go.
reduces
Boy.
the glycemic index
You just sound so...
with no sugar.
Are you a doctor?
But that one does have sugar.
That does not have sugar.
Well, because you added sugar.
Oh, you mean the bread?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, well...
But sourdough digests better.
Yes, it does.
Because of that.
Yes, it does. So there we go. So look at, I'm going to come back in about 25 minutes and we'll pull that off. I'll show you the consistency there, and then we'll get working on the rest. So see you in a little bit. Okay, my grits are done, and oh, they look creamy. I just want to show you, and that's just how you want them. It's been on low heat for the last 20-25 minutes. And now all we're going to do with the grits to finish them off is we're going to put in about 1/3 of a cup of this freshly grated Parmesan cheese. We're going to stir that in. I love that stuff. Oh my goodness. I'm going to put in 1/2 teaspoon of salt. You don't want to overdo the salt because the Parmesan has some salt in it as well, or a salty taste. And then I'm going to do about 1/4 teaspoon of pepper in here. And then we'll stir that all in. And once that's done, we're going to cover it back up, and I'm going to put it over here to the side. Oh, look at that. Oh, for goodness sake. I'm going to put it to the side, and we're going to get started on the rest. I want to try and just see if this is going to be okay for us. That's good. That is very good. Might need a little more salt, but we'll get there and figure that out in due course. Okay, I'm going to add my onions, and we're going to cook those until they're nice and soft for about 3 minutes or so. We'll stir those in there in a nice hot oil. I love these aromas. I tell you, I get excited every time I do something like this because the smell is just, we need smell, YouTube smell-o-vision or something.
Smell-o-vision? I'm wondering if
then we would want taste-o-vision.
I'm wondering if that new gadget
from
that
Apple,
came out from
that
Apple.
iVision thing.
Can you smell anything on it?
That would be, if that happens, it's too intrusive, trust me. And then we're going to need 3 cloves of garlic. Put some garlic in here. That should get all 3 cloves right down in there. And in a few minutes, once these get soft, we'll put the garlic in there. Renee, this is going to be good. Yeah. And then right about now, what you also want to do is make sure your can of diced, and by the way, I thought I'd have a hard time finding that diced, let me make sure I say it right, diced fire roasted, that's the word I keep forgetting, fire roasted tomatoes. I thought I'd have a hard time. It was right there with all the rest of the tomato product. I couldn't believe it. I've never really used them before. I've used Rotel and things like that.
That's even good in chili.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So look at that, it's really looking good.
Which is your favorite dish, right? Chili?
No, I don't like chili, that's my problem. I like a real meaty chili, but even then, because of the heavy acidic in it, and I'm sure there's recipes that will cut that back some, it just gets to me, and the older I get, I don't even do pizza after 4 o'clock in the afternoon, typically. Okay, there's the can of roasted, fire roasted tomatoes with the onions. And in addition to this, this is where you get the smoky part. We're gonna cook this up really good. Is we add 2 teaspoons of smoked paprika.
Now I just saw a lot of suggestions to use this in a lot of things, and you do smoked paprika.
Yeah. Oh, I love that flavor. Smell that? Oh, that's so good. Wish you guys could smell this. I really do. Your mouth would be watering. Your nose, like mine, would be running.
Does your nose run, Renee, when you cook?
Did you? Yes.
No.
Listen, my dad was
It's only
saying,
you.
No, listen to me. My dad was saying that the older he gets, the more when he eats, his nose runs. And Mother said the same thing.
My mom's nose ran all the time.
Oh my God,
And
that's
Ron
what I
says-
got to
Ron
look forward
says-
to?
Yeah, Ron says when he eats.
Are
when he
you
eats.
kidding me? Renee, this is not good news, even close to good news. I don't want a runny nose. All right, now then, let me get my collards up here, and we're gonna add these sort of like a handful at a time. And by the way, frozen collards definitely used, but I didn't have any.
No.
I didn't have fresh. Use fresh if you can. Cut them up and all that, but I had frozen, and I'm using about 2 pounds worth.
That's what they call for.
They call for it, yeah. So let's just
It may
stir
be,
that up a little
I wonder
bit.
if 2 pounds of frozen is more than 2 pounds of
I don't
fresh.
know, but I'm going to sort of judge it here. I don't know that I'm going to use all of that because I don't want it to.
Because it was already cut out,
Overwhelmed,
which
yeah.
fresh would not be.
Right. So let's just play this by ear a little bit.
Yeah, that might be enough right there.
I think you're right, actually.
That's okay. I'll eat
Doesn't
it.
that look
Very
good?
colorful, very colorful.
Colorful, yes. Because, do you know why, Renee?
Why?
You eat with your eyes as well as with your tongue.
Presentation.
Presentation is everything.
It is. It's everything.
Well, it's not everything. The eating is the everything. But I'm going to add about another 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and we're going to add some black pepper. This is how easy this is, folks. Once you get past the grits, time will fly very fast. And all I'm going to do, I've got a bowl over here, and once this seems to be cooked pretty well and through, and it's wilted, and that's what you want, a little bit darker where the collards turn a little darker. Then we're going to put it in a bowl, put it to the side, and in the same pan, I'm going to cook those shrimp, get those done in about 3 or 4 minutes, and then we're ready to eat. Taste for flavor. That paprika is really good. Okay, off it comes.
I think beeps is when you take a pan off.
Yeah, because
and
it's
you know
missing the
things-
magnetic connection of the pan.
Yeah.
There you go. Now all I'm going to do is add a little bit more of this oil. Get that up to speed for those shrimp. And then, and by the way, we've been having an argument in the house whether or not the shrimp, which are clean and deveined, but they have the tail on them, whether or not that should be detailed, in other words, the tail taken off, or not. And I like the tail on, and she said, I don't want to have to pick it up.
I don't like the tail on.
And we're going to sprinkle that on those shrimp.
What are you sprinkling on the shrimp?
Paprika, about a 1/4 of a teaspoon of paprika, a little bit more. And I just want them coated in that, just like that. Oh goodness, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be very, very, very good. And you do about 3 minutes here until they get nice and pink, and then we're ready to eat. Sue, grab me a bowl right over there, because I'm gonna serve one up and show you how it looks and how it's done here. Show the congregation. I tell you, the pastor is still in you. It never goes away. Did you know that? No. A little bit more.
There's one over there. There you go. Put that.
Okay,
put
yeah.
that.
Yeah, there's a few. They still need a little bit.
What other kind of meat could you do on here?
No.
No, I'm saying, what other
I guess
kind?
you could do like an andouille sausage.
Yeah, I was thinking
cut up,
that.
and you
That
could
would
do
be
that. That would
really
be good.
good.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
or a smoked sausage of some sort
Yeah, that
would
would be
just go perfect with this. So if you don't like shrimp, yeah, definitely substitute that. They call for a smaller shrimp, a 31, 35 count. This is a 21, 25, I think, so they're bigger. They called for, I think, a pound of that, of the 31 and 35. So that's quite a bit of shrimp. But in this case, I think it's enough for the three of us. And and besides which, I had this in the freezer, and I used some shrimp the other day out of the bag, and I had left over, so this is why we're doing this. And I love shrimp. I don't know about you, but I do love to turn this off. We're done. We are ready to go. So let me show you how I plate this up. You know what? I am going to put a little bit more salt in here. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the plate. Can you see okay, Sue?
Okay, hold on a sec. Okay.
And for me, you can never have enough cheese. Just putting a little bit more in there and stirring it in. So all we're going to do is we're going to put that right in the middle like that. Just like that. And then I'm going to take my collards and I'm going to put that like that. And then I'm going to take and put this on there like that. And that, folks, is smoked collards and shrimp with cheesy grits.
Delicious.
Delicious. Oh, we can't hardly wait.
Okay, you've tried it all now. You tried the grits and the collards and the
The
tomatoes.
chef has to taste it.
That's right.
The chef is happy. Very, very happy.
Well, you guys cook it and let us know what you think.
Let us know. Yeah, I'm telling you that how easy that is. That's just quick. And if you haven't ever tried collards, try them. They're great. I love collards. My grandmother made collards all the time. You'll love them. You'll love them. And I know some people don't like kale. Okay, I get it. But collards, that's a different thing. That's good. All right? So try it. We'll see you. Enjoy.
Okay.
I've got two breads going today. One, I've already sort of got it on the second rise in the and setting up in the fridge. This
After sitting out.
yeah,
sitting.
after rising overnight. And it's just a regular artisan loaf. This, on the other hand, is going to be my cinnamon raisin bread. And I already screwed up a little bit. I don't think it's going to matter. I was supposed to stick the raisins in before I did overnight proofing, knead them in, and I didn't do it. So I'm going to sort of cheat here. It may or may not come out, but this is what
Raisins are soaking.
and they need to soak in water.
There's
I'm
the
gonna drain
cinnamon and,
those.
cinnamon and sugar mixture.
Yep, and it's 1/4 cup of sugar and
Yeah.
a couple tablespoons of cinnamon, and you mix that all up. What I am going to do, I've got to wet this down with water, and I'll show you what we'll do here.
And this all started with that starter that you showed
Yeah, absolutely.
earlier.
So all you do is put water on this right here. Leave about a good 2 inches from the on the top and about an inch along the sides where there is no water. I'm going to show you here in a second the book that I use. My little niece, she's not little anymore, she's getting married here in a few months, but she's a great gal doing with sourdough, and she actually gave me my starter, which is like 100 years old.
To keep going for 100 years.
It's a
on
big
one
deal.
is
Yeah,
pretty
I guess
big,
it's
you
a
know.
big deal. Sure, why not? She is the one that recommended this book to me.
Yeah, because you were having real
I
problems.
was really having problems, and so she helped me with my first 1 or 2 loaves on the phone. She lives up in New York, upper New York area. So that's what we're going to do, and we're just going to I don't know if that's going to work or not, but it's going to
Sure
be what
it will.
it is. And then we're going to get this all sprinkled on here like this.
When I used to make rolls, I would just do that.
Just do this, really?
Yeah.
And you could add walnuts, you know.
It doesn't have a lot of raisins. So.
No, it really doesn't, actually. And but boy, the last one I did just turned out great, but I did it right. We'll see if this one turns out right or good.
It's sometimes hard to get them twice in a row.
You know, that's the story of my life.
Well, I commend you for even trying.
Well, I appreciate your support. I really do. So I'm really basically wanting to roll it up. I'm going to get a little bit of flour on my hands here. And it almost looks like you're rolling a
cinnamon roll,
but we're going to turn this into somewhat of a modified log, if you would, a loaf. And I'm sure some of you that are watching are looking at this and saying, my God, what is he doing? Poor man.
I could do that a lot easier.
Yeah, I know it. And I'm sure
saying some people
some of you could. Actually, I believe it. I have no doubt. Honestly, I really don't. In fact, I'm going to try something, even since I've screwed everything up already. I'm going to try something.
Oh.
As I think about it, because I usually do it this way when I'm doing I bring both ends in, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And so let me just do this, and then we're going to bring this over.
It's not real wet like some sourdough.
No.
Well, there you go. You did a great job.
Well, we'll see. It's after it bakes, but I suppose what can go wrong with cinnamon and raisins in your loaf, eh?
No. You either put flour or water on your hands.
Yeah.
That was interesting to me with sourdough.
Yeah. So there's my loaf. And it's going to be an artisan type of loaf. Put a little flour in the basket here. And we're going to put this down like that. It's going to be okay.
Rise
yeah, it's going
good.
to rise nice, I think. Yeah. And then we're going to put it in the fridge for about an hour, and then that and the other one I'm going to take out, and we'll bake them in the oven. And I'll maybe give you some pictures or something of the last, of the final product. But here is the book.
Let me get you this way.
Here, yeah.
It'll be better.
There you go.
There you go.
It's called Artisan Sourdough, and I ordered it online.
We'll put the link.
And I'll put the link. I just really love it. I don't know who the author is, whatever, but why she recommended it to me, my niece, is it's very, very, goes into pictures and self kind of taught kind of thing, and helps you understand. I don't want just a recipe. I like to understand why. Why am I doing this way? What makes the difference if I don't do that, or if I leave that step out? Why did it screw up? You know. So there it is. Anyhow, so we'll
show you when it's done.
Yeah, I'll cook it up and see.
You always have to have hot bread right out of the oven.
Yeah, boy,
I do.
There's nothing better. And you know, most of these recipes, Sue, say leave the bread on a cooling rack after the oven for an hour before cutting into it.
I don't think you've done that
done
yet.
That once. Not once for any of the bread. Because there's nothing like waiting about 5 minutes, maybe 4. I put a towel down on top or whatever so I don't burn my hand. I'm cutting with that thing, and then you put the butter on and it melts instantly, and oh my, that's so good. So that's the way we're doing things here. Okay, everybody, this is I just pulled the cinnamon raisin loaf out. That's it right there. And this is just the regular artisan loaf. And I already cut a piece off at the end and put some butter on it. It was so good. So that's been out for a while, about an hour. This just got out, and I'll let you know how it tasted. I left it a little too long, but not too bad. It's not going to hurt it. So hopefully everything will work out okay. So, okay, here's the end piece I just cut off, and it looks good, all swirly and raisin and cinnamon in there, and I'm going to take a little bite of it and see how it tastes. It looks great though, so should be no problem. Susan's going to beat me to it.